We're here at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival in Bardstown. We've got questions, one of my favorite things to do. That actually started here in Bardstown last year at the Bourbon Festival. You might know him, Greg Keeley. He was on flight night with me and Brandon. You know, Brandon's not here. Should we give him some crap?
Yeah, we should. He's a lightweight.
He is. I might be a precious flower, but he's a lightweight, right?
He's a lightweight. Like, where the hell is he?
At a wedding.
It's the biggest day in the bourbon landscape of the year, and he's off at some wedding.
I know. But we're here with Greg. You might know him from Lawrenceburg Bourbon when we did our flight night. But you guys aren't Lawrenceburg Bourbon anymore.
No.
Larrikin Bourbon?
Yep, Larrikin Bourbon.
Larrikin
yeah,
Bourbon.
So as of 3.5 hours ago, Lawrenceburg became Larrikin Bourbon.
So why the name change?
That's a good question. So a lot of it is a larrikin. The easiest way to describe it, larrikin is a Australian slang term. It's an endearing term for think of Steve Irwin, crocodile hunter. He is the archetypal Australian larrikin.
Okay.
You know, sort of flouts convention a bit, doesn't really care what people think, all that sort of stuff. So
I feel like this suits you very well.
Kind of does, yeah. That's what my wife says as well. So we've gone down the larrikin path, and a big part of it was we worked out that, you know, with Lawrenceburg, which we worked for a couple of years or a year and a half, we were kind of rooted to our location, whereas our story and our culture and everything is bigger than that now. And so we didn't want to just be anchored to the town of Lawrenceburg. We wanted to be projecting what we are and how we approach whiskey, and that's pretty irreverent and sort of, as you know, damn the torpedoes kind of deal. And so now, you know, you've got to live like a larrikin.
I was going to say, that's what you do. The bourbon you make is from that. Can you talk a little bit about the logo too? The new bottle, you went all out.
Well, we did. So we did this starting on Memorial Day.
Okay.
So it's been pretty quick.
Again, was this your idea, like, to go quick like that?
Yeah. So 22 years in the military, you don't. I was unbearable for the last 3 months, but we got it done, and we were still getting things delivered yesterday with the labels and everything. So this is the new bottle. This is actually our newest product, or whiskey, just came out today. This is our bottled in bond. It's 8 years old. It's our standard, pretty much 75-21-4 mash bill. But the new label, if folks are familiar with the old Lawrenceburg label, is a lot cleaner. We still put the mash bill on the bottom, which we always like to do.
We love that transparency.
Yeah, and it's important to us. I grew up in the wine industry, and you'd never buy wine if you didn't know it was 21% Shiraz and blah, blah, blah. And so that's how we've approached our whiskey. This is bottled in bond, obviously. We're veteran-owned, veteran-distilled. And my associate distiller or lead distiller is a Marine Corps veteran. So between the two of us, we've got it covered. But yeah, so this is a new bottle. It's never been in the US before.
Okay.
We get them out of France. Our friends at Saberglass make these for us. And
it's everything is sharp with this, I will say.
Thank you. Yeah, the funny thing with this bottle, it kind of reminds me, I don't know if your dad drank scotch when you were a kid, but he always had a bottle of like that cheap green bottle Cutty Sark. Remember that? And the bottle kind of reminds me of the Cutty Sark bottle when I was a kid.
But it's clean.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bottle. It's got a slight taper.
And I noticed the kangaroo is a little front center now too.
Yeah, so we've really leaned into the kangaroo. If you're at the festival, you'll see our 20-foot kangaroos up the front, boxing kangaroo, and that's really the fighting spirit of Australia. And so what we've tried to do is bring, you know, the traditions of Kentucky and add a little bit of Australian spirit.
Well, I mean that seems fitting for you. A twice retired vet, one time in Aussie, American as well.
Yes, sir.
So,
Navy.
You know, Navy. Like, clearly, you enjoy having a little disruption with everything.
We do, and that's how we've approached Larrikin Bourbon. And you know, everyone told us we couldn't do it. People said, "Don't change the name." We've done both, and you know, with the support of folks that, you know, bought our whiskey with not knowing jack shit about us, we've got a great supporter base now and everything, and we genuinely, you know, we're a small business, right? Yeah. And so, you know, we love our Jimmy and Eddie and the guys up at Wild Turkey, But as you know, my wife will often say, you know, Four Roses or Wild Turkey won't notice if you don't buy a bottle. We sure as hell do notice, and we really appreciate it. And that's why, you know, we work in the tasting room and we sign the bottles and we talk about the.
I was gonna say that's why you and your wife are here today,
right?
You know, and all weekend.
All weekend. I thought it was Sunday already, but it's only.
We're not even Saturday. Friday yet.
Oh no, it's Friday. Jeez, this is even worse than I thought.
You still got an after party, I think.
We do have an after party. So yeah, so this is our bottled in bond out today, 100 proof, obviously, 8 years old, and I'd love you to try it.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
And Brandon, this is what happens when you miss out.
Yeah, Brandon. Enjoy the buffet.
That is tasty.
I genuinely think this will be our biggest selling whiskey by Christmas.
Well, like for you all, like I know that you got the breakfast bourbon, the small batch, you know, the orange label, and that's 80 proof. A lot of everything else though is the higher proof.
Yeah.
So what made you guys decide on a bottled in bond, which obviously has to be 100 based on all the laws, but what made you decide on something like that?
I think bottled in bond has, you know, is super traditional. You know, people have intrinsically trusted something called bottled in bond. Not everybody does it. And there's a lot more hoops to jump through.
Yeah.
But if you can make a good bottle in bond product, I think people will appreciate it. And having an 8-year-old bottle in bond, you know, we were like, well, how do we do it? 5 years. We weren't sure. And we played around with a bunch of different styles or different blends. And this one took Chris Taylor, our lead distiller, and I about 4 hours. We must have had 25 bottles out, and they're all on the table. And this is only a 5-barrel blend. And I'm like, no. And then I was like, go up and get the hottest 8-year-old we've got and bring it down. We went up and grabbed this 8-year-old that was burn your face off. We put a fifth of that in. Boom, that's what this is.
So, just released.
Yep.
Going to continue doing the bottled in bond?
Yes, sir.
So.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. And you know, we've just gone into Kroger. We're in Liquor Barn and a lot of good mum and pop stores and bars. So you'll probably see this. What are we now? Like, are we in September? Yeah. You'll probably see this by the end of September in Liquor Barn and Kroger and all that stuff.
Well, that's awesome because this is really tasty.
Thank you.
For me, like when I think about the orange label you guys did, the 80 proof, that was one of the first times in a while that I've had an 80 proof that I was like flavorful.
Right.
This is a very flavorful bottled in bond. Got a little bit going on there.
Yep.
And I love that for y'all because that shows the work you put in. I love a high rye. Brandon, it's a high rye. So see, again,
Brandon,
missing out on different things.
This is like a meme, Brandon.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But the thing is, you know, and I really appreciate you saying that. You know, that our 80 proof, the small batch, I didn't even want to make that.
Yep.
My wife was like, we've got to make something lower proof because everything else was like 120 and stuff.
I was gonna say you guys were at the top end of the
all single barrel
yeah.
and stuff. Anyhow, so we make the small batch, but my criteria was it has to still taste like bourbon.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make something that was bourbon on the label and tasted like watered down, whatever. Or we didn't want to put flavors in it or toast it or do anything else. Just wasn't our thing. So we spent a lot of time getting that to work. And the mash bill we put into it is high corn, but it was really hot, and so it worked when we cut it down. Still sweet. We were very pleased with that. But it's now our biggest seller in the big stores.
So you're never going to live that one down from your wife, right?
No, Katie literally says to me almost every morning, "Oh, how's the small batch?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's going great." Every morning. I'm not even out of bed and she's asking how the small batch.
Well, hopefully the bottled in bond can do that for you, and I can't wait to see what you have for Larrikin. You guys got some cool things coming, Greg.
Thanks, brother. Hang on, we need to do a cheers.
Okay, absolutely.
Cheers, old boy.
Cheers.
Cheers, Brandon.
Tasty. Perfect.